Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. In this video, I wanted to add on to the P.S.A. to raise awareness about this specific person called GMS Somalia. And I was watching this brother's video, and he was a person who was going around commenting very off things, and you could read it on the screen for yourself. But this is just more so of a PSA that this person, just because he has GMS on his handle, doesn't mean he's part of our group, our ministry, and our brotherhood. That's why, like, even Apostle Tahar, he put out that edict that we don't really accept new members. Of course, when people come up to us, we vet them and we mark them to see if they're really about this thing. We're not just about to invite anybody and everybody into this congregation that we have, because we're in these last days that this is something that that the wicked of this world and even the 2/3 are going to try to sneak into and just rain on our parade. I'm thinking about the parable about the wedding, where there was a person who snuck in through the window or some other way. He wasn't wearing his wedding garment. And these people who don't go to their main camps in whatever city or state they're in, that applies to them. Because if you were really about this ministry, you would want to fellowship with the Akim. That's part of when we're out there on the highways and hedges, we bring out those things about how it's good for where 2 and 3 are gathered, there I am in the midst. Speaking about the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're supposed to fellowship with the brothers who have faith in this ministry. You can't just be some shadow puppeteer on the comment section saying a whole bunch of bugged out things and expect us not to notice. We're going to apply the scriptures and mark the perfect man. We're also marking them who cause division with any type of wayward doctrines. And it's also the spirit, because we've all at camp have been encountering a lot of people who are trying to come up to us and distract us and throw off the spirit. But that's just part of the condition of the battle. The scriptures are foolproof that they even tell you about these things, that these scoffers are going to happen. They're going to come up to these camps, go onto our comment section in these last days. And they're going to amplify even more so the closer we get to Yahweh Shai's return. But I want to read these precepts. This is in Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." Verse 16, "Redeeming the time, because the days are evil." And so we can see in these last days, as we're building up the tabernacles of David through the hopeful elect and speaking this word, and you're seeing the dry bones rise up, you're seeing the Edomites specifically, and all these heathen nations, but even the 2/3 of our people trying to put us back into that dead state. They're trying to rip off the sinews and the skin that's being formed on us because of the spirit. They're doing anything and everything to try to put us back to sleep. But the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to prevail. And you can see, like how Apostle Rambla was doing a PSA about this. All of us got on it. We were all on our watch. And as one person was acting very wayward in someone's comment section, we noticed that. And now we are, making these videos to let you know about these things. And this is going to continue to happen. This is part of being a watchman, is when we're out there on the highways and hedges, we mark certain people and discern through the spirit about these people, because like in these last days, people are going to hate one another. The love of many is going to wax cold. So you have to be prepared for anything and everything, because these bug outs are liable for whatever. And then on top of that, you got Esau Edom sending those agent provocateurs, trying to link this ministry to something of a bad light, like terrorism or whatever, so that it's easier for him to just dismiss us and control the narrative and just to gain the population's attention. And I remember a while back, there was this one specific person. He had I forget what kind of flag it was, but it was like one of those Ishmaeli green flags, like he was an ISIS member. And he had the whole turban and everything, and he had a whole bunch of weapons. And in the videos that he was producing, they were not edifying in the spirit. He wasn't going into the scriptures, and basically he was just brandishing weapons, trying to link us, what we do in this ministry, speaking in the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, to carnal things. And I believe that guy that I'm speaking about graduated. Well, so what he said is that he graduated from the Sakari College. So these, you got these people out here amongst the circumcision who know the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, just walking disorderly. But that's why here at Great Millstone, we deal with the order. We deal with the elders that are above us, and we give them double honors, because that's part of the scriptures. We adhere to these things. We examine ourselves, but we also mark them who cause division. And this is in Romans 16 and 17. It says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine, which ye have learned, and avoid them." And this applies to everybody who's coming up against us, especially so in these last days. Within the congregation, within the circumcision, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, where they got these other wayward fringe Israelite camps, they don't all speak in the doctrine. They're all about brotherhoods over the breakdown. But as the scripture says, that the breakdown is more important than fellowshipping, because breaking down, it's like if we all believe in the same thing, then we'd be brothers. Can two walk together except they be agreed? So I'm going to read this again. It's in Romans 16 and 17. It says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them." So if a person is speaking about you on some things that actual Great Millstone members and elders and the apostles don't speak on, that is a completely different spirit. It's profane outside the temple. We speak about the doctrine and the testimony of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy. Anything else besides that is literally profane. We're not out here advocating what these other bug outs are certain like going on the comment section saying, because vocab alone would be quick to jump on those things and link us to terrorism. But we know how Esau's gonna move, because we're not wise. We're not unwise to his wicked devices. He's going to try anything and everything, but ultimately the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to prevail. We're going to see those who are causing divisions, and we're marking them. We're basically getting them out of the wedding, because they didn't come just as the RSVP was describing, that all of us need to have white garments. If you don't have your white garment, which represents purity, then we're all kicking you out. You're not invited to this wedding if you don't have that invitation and the dress code. All right, so I'm just read these last precepts. This is in 2 Peter 3 and 3. It says, "Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts." And that's ultimately what all these scoffers are doing. They're basically just proud demons walking after their own lust. And they hate leadership, they hate order, and they hate structure. Because specifically, I'm thinking of Sakari. They once learned from a Great Millstone, but then they decided to walk after their own lusts, changing the doctrine and tweaking certain things here and there so that they could fill their own belly. We mark those people because they are not part of this ministry, and they're just walking disorderly, bringing shame to the ministry ultimately. Now you have it so that when we're out there on the highways and hedges, the first thing that people think about is those wacky terrorists that are on YouTube, screaming off to the top of their lungs, getting their boots licked. And then some of them will think that we all brandish weapons, because that's the status quo when you think of the so-called Black Hebrew Israelite movement. But here at Great Millstone, we don't do those certain things. We do house cleaning, and we examine ourselves. Because we apply the scripture right here. This is in 2 Corinthians 6 and 3. It says, giving... I'll read from verse 2. It says, "For he saith, I have heard thee in time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed." And so that's something that you have to move with wisdom, is that if you do something that's off, and contrary to the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, this applies to you. You can't bring anything into this temple and make it profane and unclean. So anything that you do, like that, it causes a reaction. It affects the ministry that you're a part of, and so we ultimately have that in the back of our minds, and that's why we walk circumspectly. We don't go around doing what these people are saying what we do. That's just projection or just outright lies. All we do is preach the word in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and they can't lay any charge against the Lord's elect. But speaking on that, though, as you've seen all these bug outs coming up to us, and we're being watchmen, just examine yourselves and be prepared for these things. Be prepared to dismiss a lot of people, because none of these people are really seeking after salvation. They're really just trying to distract us and throw off the spirit. That's their end goal, and that's something that you have to understand. So just mentally prepare yourself. Be prepared for these bug outs that are going to come to us in person or in the comment section. But now, because we've seen this time and time again, we should have a routine on how to conduct those things. So the last precept I want to read is in 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. And that's something that we don't want to be, reprobates. We're out here preaching these things, and we practice these things also. It's not just when we turn on the cameras. We are faithful men, and we don't have anything that can draw us back into the world that causes well, how do you say, like an offense to the ministry. We don't tarnish this ministry that we're a part of. We uphold it to the best of our abilities, to a high standard, because that's what the order instructed us to do. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. And once again, this is just a recent one out of many, and many to come. This GMS Somalia guy is not a part of GMS, even though he has that in his name. You just gotta be wise about these things. Shalom, Akim.